Hi guys, what's up? I'm a fucking moron, and I just recorded the whole thing, uploaded it to YouTube, and then posted it on the Stony Brook subreddit, only to realize that my mic was off the entire video. So, welcome back to Fuck Bureaucracy, how to get that shmoney on your 2020 tax returns. I'm stressed. So, things you're gonna need. Your parents' permission, not permission, a conversation with your parents expressing that you would like to file single this year. And their permission to do so. It is their permission. You're gonna need your parents' permission, guys. It sucks, but you do. A W-2 and then the 1098-T form. How you're gonna get a W-2? Simply, you're gonna work legally. If you work off the books exclusively, you're probably not gonna have a W-2. If you don't work, you're definitely not gonna have a W-2. If you're not a United States citizen, I don't know. I don't know how that works. This entire thing is from my own personal experience. I have no idea if the process is different, if it is, how it is different, all that jazz. How to get your 1098-T form. You're going to go to Solar. You're going to go to Campus Financial Services. You're going to go to Account Information Payment, and that's going to bring you to this, and then you're going to go to the 1098-T form. You're going to enter the tax year, 2020, and then you're going to hit View 1098-T form. It's going to bring you to a PDF of your form. Bam! You got it! Or you got it in the mail. Hopefully you got it in the mail. You're supposed to get it in the mail. How to do the tax thingy. I use H&R Block. My best friend uses Free Tax USA. I know other people who use TurboTax. It doesn't matter as long as it's free. I like H&R Block. I wish I could tell you it's because, wow, their experience is just so lovely, which, it's not bad. I've just never used anything else, and I'm a creature of habit, so I just keep using H&R Block. I will say, this is not sponsored, H&R Block, holds your hand through the entire process and makes that shit easy. It's clean looking, it's so easy, it's so user-friendly, you can upload shit, directly from a PDF. It's beautiful. But if you don't use H&R Block, it's not the biggest deal. I am going to prefront with, because H&R Block does hold your hand through the entire process, I'm not showing you each individual slide. I'm more or less just showing you the parts of the process that I think are important. If the only things that you have to worry about on your taxes are 1 or 2 W-2s and your 1098-T form and your stimulus check, this process should take you about an hour. If you have more, don't look at me. Look at H&R Block, they'll help. So I'm going to be using my brother's tax returns on this. I got express permission from him to do this. He watched me do the whole thing, and I just took screenshots when I needed. I already did mine, so I couldn't, show you with mine. So let's go. So, or you're a student. If you're watching this, probably, if you aren't, I don't know how the fuck you got this video. Can someone else claim you as a dependent? No. Assuming you've had this conversation with your parents, then no one else can claim you as a dependent. If someone else claiming you as a dependent, that's called tax fraud. We don't like that. Unless we're Yoshi. So this specific slide right here is going to be for New York State residents only, not only, but H&R Block has this really weird quirk where if you are filing taxes from New York and you are not from New York State or Yonkers, and so you're going to import your W-2, and there's going to be this right here, and it's going to have the zeros, and then it's going to yell at you, are you from Yonkers? Are you from the city? Did you work in Yonkers or the city? And you're going to be like, no, for the love of God. But it's not going to let you move on, because these stupid zeros are here. You just got to clear them out, and then it's fine. This is the only time that this does this. Sometimes it actually works in the reverse, or if you don't put the zero, it yells at you. No idea. So you're going to add your W-2s. Most people are only going to have one. My brother actually had 2, because at the beginning of 2020, he had already put in his 2 weeks, so he worked the last 2 weeks, and he got a tiny little baby check from that. So your next thing is going to be your deductions. I've never had a deduction. My brother didn't have a deduction. if you have a deduction, it'll tell you. Not that it will tell you. You can explore and, like, see what the potential deductions are. Chances are you don't have a deduction. So then, both the 1098T form and the stimulus check are going to be under credits. I am going to say there's a 1098E form that is a deduction. I don't know anything about it. I think it has something to do with student loans. I don't know if it has to do with taking them out, if it has to do with paying them. Don't look at me. If it applies to you, it applies to you. Please, go ahead, frolic. Enjoy your E form. But your T form is going to be under credits. So it's going to ask you, you're a student, right? Yes, I'm a student. Even though I have another occupation, I really don't. Like, I have a job, not a career. I never bother. So when I go to the next page, which is like the credits page, it's like, hey, you might be eligible for these two, and guess which two it is? It's the stimulus and the Stony Brook, or education credits. Those are the ones we want. So this is a good thing. It's already going, hey buddy, you might want these. So it's first going to take you to the 1098T tuition expenses for college and other higher education. It's going to ask you about the school you went to. My brother went to Farmingdale. Put all that information in. It's all in that 1098T form. Like, you're basically just, like, transcribing the form. Then it's going to ask you about the payments that the school received. This is going to include money that you paid them, as well as any scholarships you might have. It's going to take you from box to box, asking, is there something in this box? Is this box checked off? Blah, 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 blah. It's only 10 boxes. That one's not as bad as some of the others. Then it's going to ask you, how much did you spend on required course materials? So, I've never actually bought something directly from the school, so I never had to put anything there. But the next one, required books and materials bought from the school, bookstore, or a retailer. I love this because the amount of books I get off of Amazon, the whole clicker thing, getting the stupid clicker and paying for the subscription, all of that counts. If you bought it between January 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2020, you put it there. If you bought Anna Karenina for creative writing $330, you put it down. If you bought a $300 textbook, you put it down. If you rented a book, you put it down. Don't put down things you didn't buy, clearly, and you don't have to, like, get it down to the penny. It just, within a couple of dollars, it's not going to ask you for receipts or anything. So I literally just, I had to restart. Leave me alone.
Did you restart? Why?
Because I accidentally wasn't recording audio. Yeah, I'm aware. I uploaded it to YouTube and everything. My cousin interrupted my last video, the one that didn't have audio, to ask me to hang out, and I said, go away, come back in half an hour. It's been half an hour, and the kid's like, movie? Scram, brat!
Hurry up!
Fuck you! Fuck you, chicken strips. Sorry about that. So yeah, you're gonna put anything that it says you can put, you're gonna put it down. It's not gonna ask for receipts or anything. I usually just round to the nearest dollar, add it all up, put it down. So my brother, not ignore this, but my brother made so little money, that this whole, like, having eliminated your taxes with other tax breaks, this applies to him. He straight up did not earn enough to warrant this being a thing. Like, his standard deductions, pause, here's a little, like, a mini explanation of how taxes work. So let's say you earn $100, and normally, throughout earning that $100, it was taxing you 10%. Now, at the end of the year, you have $90, and then you have, and the federal government has the $10 that it took from you. Those are your taxes. Gross, you've made $100, but net you have $90. So now, the federal government is like, hey, you're gonna do your taxes, and you're like, cool, and they're gonna be like, we are not going to tax the first $500. That's called the standard deduction. That's what you're going to have if you put nothing else under your deductions. So if they're not going to tax that first $500 that you earn, none of the $100 that it was already taxed should have been taxed. That $10 that the government already has, that's your tax return. His standard deduction covered his entire earnings, so there was no point in him using the education credit. Beautiful. That's great for him because that means he can use it on a different year. If you earned enough where this is a thing, then please, you're gonna come to a screen that looks like this. I had to burp, sorry. These zeros are gonna be numbers, usually. I this year used the tuition and fees deduction. So these numbers are gonna be different values sometimes. If you want to click one, run through the rest of your taxes, and then if you want to go back and then change it to a different one and see if it changes anything, that's how I did it. That's how I got my biggest refund, is I literally just clicked on one, went through it, and then I went back. So originally it all said like $200 for all of them. And then when I clicked tuition, fees, and deduction, went through the rest of my taxes, when I went back to this screen, these two had changed to 0 because something about what I did for the rest of my taxes made it so I wouldn't be eligible for those. So pick one. If it works for you, keep going. So now the recovery rebate credit is going to be the stimulus check. It's going to show you the screen if you're using H&R Block. I don't know about the other ones. And then it's going to ask you 3 questions. Were you a resident of American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, or the Northern Mariana Islands in 2020? If you went to Stony Brook, probably not. Did you get the first stimulus check? Did you get the second stimulus check? That's it. And then it's going to determine, magically, through whatever fucking stupid algorithms the government won't tell us, whether or not you qualify. So a little background. I filed single in 2019, and for some reason I still didn't get the stimulus check. I think it's because I filed as a dependent in 2018. Even though I filed my taxes before Corona was even a thing. Maybe it was because I did say last year that someone could claim me as a dependent. I really don't know. My parents didn't claim me as a dependent. Nobody claimed me as a dependent, and I didn't get the stimulus check. And I got the check. My brother has always been a dependent. My parents are, letting him file single this year to get the stimulus check. And because he actually, worked or whatever. So, and he's getting it. So, chances are you'll qualify. What's next? H&R Block is going to try to sell you their services. H&R Block is free. Don't let them, no, it's free. If it keeps coming up, it will. It will keep coming up, being like, buy our service, upgrade to premium. You don't have to. Please don't. Don't give them money for something that they said they would do for free. Unless you have really complicated taxes for no fucking reason and you actually do need the help, don't buy it. It's a fucking waste. Are you kidding? Yeah, I think that's the end of my slideshow. Haha, it is. Absolute Godspeed to all of you. Have a great semester. I actually graduated in December. I'm an alumni. I might be coming back for grad school, so we'll see how that works out. Yeah. Hope you Godspeed. I'm proud of you all. You made it through your taxes. Oh, I forgot to mention. From here on, it's gonna walk you through the rest of the process of filing your state taxes. I don't know how this process differs if you worked and lived and whatever in multiple states. I only ever work, live, and went to school in New York, that wasn't Yonkers in the city. So I don't know. But it'll hold your hand through this entire process. And then you'll file. The federal government, for some reason, at this exact moment, are not actually accepting tax returns. I don't know why. But you'll just submit it to H&R Block. and they'll be like, cool, we're going to submit it as soon as we physically can. And you're like, cool, and then you don't have to worry about it. If you are getting money back, it'll ask you how you want to get that money back. Whether or not you want an Emerald card, which is basically just a fucking Visa gift card from the federal government, a paper check, or if you want direct deposit. If you want direct deposit, the only things you're going to need are your banking number and your account number and your routing number. Sorry, your account number and your routing number for the bank account that you want to put it in, and whether or not it's a checking account or a savings account. You might also need your license for filing your state taxes, depending on what state you're in. If you owe money, which is I don't know how they do it. They probably just ask for your credit card information, like if they're trying to save SpongeBob. But yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's it. I somehow went longer than my first video. Okay. Goodbye!